After an awesome stay at 14 Mile, it was time to head north, but not before running our desal to top up on fresh water. This is the first time we've run the desal directly from the ocean, and it saves the hassle of having to pump seawater into our bladder and transporting it back to the caravan. We've been using the Bluetti AC240 for a while now, and it's super handy, especially for pumping water up into the desal, it turns out. It's the more dustproof and waterproof version of Bluetti's power system, so it can handle being sat down on the beach like this without any worry at all. I'm using it to pump the water up to the desal system with a little lift pump.
Side benefit to the desal is that the extra briny salt water that it discards has been cleaned and purified, and it's basically the hairspray that you buy, the salt spray that you buy from the hairdressers. So I captured a little bit of that, popped it in a spray bottle with a little bit of conditioner to make it smell good, and now I've got like a super salty salt spray. So happy days. So yeah, stoked with it. I am absolutely loving it. It is, like, not gonna lie, it's a little bit of effort around to get the pump in, and like we've definitely minimised the hassle factor so far, just even with the few times that we've been able to use it at the beach. Like, we're just getting the system down pat more and know what we're doing, which is just experience and learning from your mistakes. But it's pretty cool to think that we can make fresh water from the ocean. I love it. I love it. It is cool. It's cool. All right, well, we'll be here for the next hour pumping water, and we'll see you soon.
Pretty sure we just blew up the pressure washer. I think, I don't know whether it was just not getting enough water supply and sucking too much air or something, or whether it's just burned out. I don't know, but we're up for a new pressure washer.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. We're heading into Bullara Station to catch up with our good mates Mel and Pete, who are also camping at a lot of the same spots that we are, because we were all up at 3 a.m. together, booking campsites 6 months ago. Happy days. All right, let's head into Bullara.
Now we're back on the rough dirt road before airing up and turning onto the main road. I'm pretty sure what happened there with the pressure washer is that the little lift pump I was using to pump water up to the desalination unit didn't quite have enough oomph to keep up with the pressure that the desal needed, and the pressure washer got a little bit too much air going through it and overheated and burnt it out. Bit of a bugger there, lesson learnt, but luckily our mates Mel and Pete are on their way up from Carnarvon, so they're going to pick us up a new one from the local hardware store. We got an 85k drive up to Bullara, and we actually missed out on Bullara last time we were in WA because we were too late in the season and they only opened for the peak times. We're looking forward to having a shower, getting to use the washing machines, basically enjoying the facilities that you'd expect at a caravan park, but without having to stay in town. We love a good station stay, and we are really looking forward to heading down into Bullara.
Yeah, she's my country girl. She's a little bit country.
It wasn't long before we were turning back off the blacktop and heading down the short dirt driveway up into Bullara Station.
She can let her hair down, but got her feet on the ground. I can't get enough of her. She can drive me so wild, just with that sweet smile, and there's nobody else for me. My heart starts.
All right, so we just got into camp, just pulled off to our spot. We're just behind our mates Mel and Pete. We've got our own fire pit surrounding the gum trees. It is mighty hot, but on the plus side, Bullara is famous for its scones and its pies. So we're gonna go hit the cafe, have some lunch, see if it's worth the hype. All right, let's go.
You are like gold dust over me.
Awesome.
One pepper pie.
Quite for Dad. What's your
And this is the butter until the scones ready.
I don't need an answer, just need some space. Don't let me darken your front
You're eating your sausage roll a bit quicker now, aren't you?
Don't even it.
Out of 10?
Out of 10? 9.9. 10.9.
We fear will go away.
After eating way too much at the cafe, it was time to head back to camp to relax in the heat of the day.
I doubt that I'm your only reason to stay. Darkness has robbed me of my sight.
Simon, however, who is unable to sit still for more than 30 seconds, set about to do some quick car maintenance, checking over the Land Cruiser, and then set about ticking off some of those items that have been piling up on the never-ending to-do list.
Don't need an answer, just need us.
We spent the afternoon exploring the station. The farm animals are incredibly friendly, and both the cute potty calves and the farm horse were a huge hit with the kids. It wasn't long before the boys spotted the old cars and tractors, and then, showing my age, I started to do that thing where you tell your kids stories that start with back in my day, when I used to drive around an orange farm with my brothers in a rusty Datsun that was so old you could start it with a paddle pop stick, and how Poppy taught me to drive the old Massey Harris tractor, which, as a fun fact, predates the Massey Ferguson tractor, which should give you an indication of how old and rusty it really was. And whilst we don't have the family farms anymore, it's pretty special to be able to visit working stations like this and still be able to expose our boys to farm life. That's called a column shift, mate.
What's it do?
With the sun dipping in the sky, we made our way back to camp. Go and have your famous shower?
Go shower with me donkey. Have me donkey shower.
I reckon we must be the only people to not film in the showers.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Bullara is famous for a couple of things, but one of them is their donkey showers. It's in like an old water tank. It's very common for people to get half naked or naked and take photos of themselves and put them all over Instagram. If that's what you're after, you're following the wrong people on YouTube, because we ain't doing that. But the other thing it's famous for is burgers. They do a burger night here every Friday night, and guess what day we got here? Saturday. So we missed that as well. But anyway, still a good spot to stay. Still liking it, and at the moment, any shower's a good shower. So I'm going to go and make the most of it.
All right, I know you all love a good powdered milk story, and I've just had another winner. So I just tested making the cheese bechamel sauce in the Thermomix, which calls for usually 1 litre of milk. I've only got 2.5 litres of milk left to go for the next 3 days before we hit Exmouth, and so I was a bit nervous about using 1 litre of it and wasting my precious coffee supply. So what I did is I busted out the good old powdered milk. It was 5 heaped tablespoons for the whole litre, so that was a pretty good mix, and it was a winner. The sauce came out so good. I think you wouldn't even pick that it was powdered milk at all. So it's a winner. I've used it to make a bacon broccoli pasta with a cheese bechamel sauce. So I reckon it's a winner. I'll show you how creamy it looks, and you be the judge. And just, maybe pop some powdered milk in a cupboard for your caravanning travels. It's a winner. It's so much easier to carry powdered milk than UHT milk, in our opinion. It's much lighter, you can get a heap more in, and we pretty much use it in all cooking except for coffee, like to save your fresh milk for your coffees, especially when you're out in these remote regions and it's going to be hard to store that much milk that we need and carry that much milk that we need for this next stint in Ningaloo. So powdered milk for the win. Love it. Anyway, I'll show you the sauce. So here it is. I'll give it a bit of a stir so you get a good gander. Look at that. Creamy, cheesy, bacon, broccoli, win. What's Dad doing tonight, mate?
Okay, tonight Dad is cooking squid, and I'm just going to tell you a little story of how we got that squid. So our mates, the truck family, took us out fishing about 1 kilometre or 2 at least out. And
So from 14 Mile Beach.
from 14 Mile, and we caught 4 squid. So happy days, and we're cooking up that squid in the caravan right now, and we're making a fire, and I've been organising all the wood, little sticks, big sticks and leaves behind you. And there was one thing that happened when we were catching squid that was so crazy.
What happened?
There was a squid on my fishing hook, and I had to reel it in at least 7 times because, well, the hooks on my lure actually got stuck in in the first squid I caught, and we also got covered in squid ink. We even got to peel the squid and pull the wings off and get all the stuff out of them, including the feather, which is the squid's backbone.
He did a pretty good job telling that story, I reckon. Yeah, so 14 Mile, we went out with our mates Andrew and Bryony from Adventures Off Grid. They took us out squidding for the afternoon, which was awesome. We didn't take any of the cameras. If anyone's got any tips for how to get squid ink out of rashies, that would be much appreciated. Yeah, James's rashies are goner, I reckon. It came off our bodies all right, but we've already tried cake soap. That didn't work. So if you've got any tips, leave them there. Otherwise, we'll show you the squid, what we're going to do with it. I think we're just going to do salt and pepper squid, and then have pasta later for dinner, and then sit by the campfire. I think Simon's cooking inside. Let's go check it out.
Just gonna cook up your squid, buddy, in the thing where just salt and pepper and a little bit of flour, and we're gonna cook it up in here.
You happy? Thanks for cooking dinner tonight.
No problems.
How's that for gourmet?
Ta-da! Hey? Like eating in a restaurant too. James, come and get some of this, buddy.
This is your squid that you caught, buddy. Thanks for catching the squid, boys.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was worth it. It's not blowing out.
That's not the marshmallow. The marshmallow slipped down.
Oh, that's...
It's his hair. It's his hair.
Just to let you know, James was totally fine, but it did give us a little bit of a fright when he set his hair on fire with the marshmallows.
Next morning, it was time to hit the road again, but not before leaving our own little memento on the Bullara bottle tree.
Yeah, the photo. There you go.
There we go. Done.
Well, the journey north continues. We're heading up to Exmouth today. We are so excited to get to Exmouth, and we've got a huge restock to do there. So that was Bullara. You can call into Bullara whether you're heading north like us or coming south. You'll come into Bullara before you get to Exmouth, coming in from Caravan. or from Carragini. Whichever way you go, you pretty much can't miss Bullara Station. Really recommend going in there for a couple of nights. It's a little bit of luxury if you travel like us. It's nice to have that little bit of added lux. Today's mission is to get into Exmouth. We've got restocking to do. We've got to get to the post office, pick up some mail. A lot of people ask us how we deal with mail while we're traveling full time. For us, mostly we use parcel collect. So it's a service that Australian Post offers where you basically get your mail delivered to the post office and they'll hold it for up to a couple of weeks. It can be a little bit tricky sometimes to plan where you're going to be and how long you're going to be there for and when you're going to be there if you travel like us, but they're generally pretty good, the post office, and they're reasonably flexible, and you can get mail forwarded if you misjudge where you're going to be. Apart from that, we've got to get water while we're there. You've got to pay for water and get groceries and all that sort of stuff. We'll show you all that, as well as we've got to get passports because we're flying overseas later in the year and we need to get our passports renewed. So a bit of life admin, a bit of everything. It's about an hour's drive from Bullara up to Exmouth. Get in there and then we're going to get out and explore the Ningaloo campgrounds and Ningaloo Reef. Can't wait for that. So we'll knock out these few Ks and we'll see you guys soon.
So one of the biggest challenges we're going to have today is that our South Lefroy booking doesn't actually start until tomorrow. So we've got a 1 night gap where we don't have any accommodation booked. The caravan parks were booked out. Last check, all of the campgrounds were booked out, like along the Cape Range National Park. Sometimes you can just jag 1 night bookings and things like that where people have cancelled. So tonight's campsite may be a gravel pit and we are camping with mates, so we're going to be even a little bit less flexible with where we can camp and pull up. So let's just go see how easy it is to just wing it in and around the Exmouth area. We'll see what we find.
Well, we've made it into Exmouth. We're a bit of mucking around this morning trying to get our passports organised and then just been in to get some groceries. It's absolute chaos in the van at the moment. There is stuff everywhere. Hang on a minute, I'll let the light adjust. There we go, back on screen. It's chaos in here at the moment. The boys are just on our phone because they've had enough. It's been a test of patience, I would say, for all of us doing the groceries together. Just loading up under the bench seat here. So this is where we put like a lot of our bulky, lightweight sort of stuff. It goes under the bench seat. Then we've got obviously the main fridge and freezer in the van. We've got the drawer fridge in the car that I've just loaded up. We're trying to put a lot of fruit and veg in the fridge as well, just to, well, especially the fruit, just to keep it to last as long as we can. And we're running the Bluetti fridge as a freezer, so we've got frozen milk and we haven't finished loading that yet. Freezing some fresh milk, because you know what we're like, we love our coffee and we love fresh milk in our coffee. Freezing meat and all that sort of stuff. So why so much? Well, we're prepping to go and spend, we've got about 4 weeks of bookings at Ningaloo, south of Yardie Creek. I'll explain more about this later, but then another 3 weeks of bookings north of Yardie Creek. So once we get north of Yardie Creek, it's not too bad to come back to Exmouth to restock. But we're trying to minimise the restocking that we have to come back to Exmouth for, because it's about 2 hours each way to come back into Exmouth from where we're going to be down at South Lefroy, which is where we're heading today, hopefully, or tomorrow, I should say. So yeah, we're trying to stock for about a month for 4 people, but not, it's always a balance, not going over the top, but not falling short either, and just trying to make everything last. And obviously, Exmouth, a little bit limited, it's pretty remote here, so we can't always get whatever you want. So it's hard to do normally to do this we would do a meal plan and then shop to the meal plan. But because you don't know what's going to be available and what's going to be really expensive or almost out of date some stuff, it just takes a little bit to figure it all out. Hang on, we're getting a phone call. Might mean Mel and Peter found some more groceries.
Hey, how'd you go?
We'll come back to you.
Okay.
What's the scoop?
That was Pete. He managed to get us eggs at the wholesalers and frozen berries at the wholesalers, and he's now third in line at the water port, so we'll meet him there because he's got no room in his fridge and freezer. So
okay, we better get a wriggle on then.
We're gonna get a reeler.
Right, we're gonna get this stuff packed and then we're gonna go meet Mel and Pete at the water fill point. And we'll show you guys that when we get there, because it's a paid water thing at Exmouth here, which is actually really good, because last time we were here a few years ago, there was nowhere to get fresh water easily in Exmouth, so it's really good they've put that in, and we're more than happy to pay to get fresh, good drinking water. So we'll go there next, we'll get this unpacked, and then we'll tell you more about the plans as they develop.
We love visiting towns like Exmouth, which are well suited for travellers. Having bins, a dump point and a water fill station all close to each other with good access makes restocking days so much less painful.
Righto, last stop. Got the post. New wetsuits for all of us. Rumours are, well not rumours, there is Irukandji jellyfish at Exmouth this year still. So we're gonna use wetties. We were gonna buy stinger suits, but we could get cheap wetsuits online for about the same money as a stinger suit. So we'll wear a full steamer while we're out snorkeling and make sure we don't get stung by the jellies. That's the last stop. It's nearly 4 o'clock. Time to get out of town. Let's get out of here. Next challenge is we've got to try and get across Yardie Creek. Doesn't look too bad, the crossing this year. It's definitely a lot more straightforward than when we've done it previous years. You can tell it's had a lot more traffic because at the moment this is the only way into the Ningaloo Station campsite. So Windabandy, South Lefroy, North Lefroy and a heap of others, this is the only access because Ningaloo Road is currently closed, which is normally the primary access. So it's quite a detour we've had to make to go up around Exmouth to come down this far. From Bullara Station where we started this morning, it was only about a 65k drive to South Lefroy, but we've had to do a couple 100k's and go up around Exmouth. Well, I don't know if you can see me with the sun shining there, but if you can't tell, the sun's pretty low in the sky. It's getting pretty late. We're across the creek now. We're going to just four-wheel drive down here a little bit. It's getting on. It's already after 5 o'clock. We're hoping we might be able to jag a campsite. But this is the sort of track too where I'm really thankful for having the bush wraps PPF on our windows, just to protect them from all the scratches from these trees and bushes that are scraping down the side of the van, because this is very tight.
Oh my goodness, you would not plan for this, but it is absolutely spectacular. The sunset on these ranges is just like making them glow. The colours in these little foliage, this like burgundy with this pale eucalyptus green with this sandy track is just, I'm just loving it. It's so good. Such a beautiful part of the world. Oh, I can't wait. Hopefully we're there soon. We're not too far from Point Billy, which is maybe where we're going to make camp if we don't find something before then. And we've already got dinner made, which is a win. So we can get these kids to bed early or at a reasonable time. All right, enough ranting about the sunset. It's beautiful.
Duck in here and see if we can find a spot.
We made it! All right, we found somewhere to park up just for tonight. Sun's setting. Bit too, yeah, we're just pulling up. All right, dinner's made. We'll see you guys in the morning.
Long day. Long day.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh. All right. We don't really have to do much, do we?
The dragonfly.
That is a dragonfly and a fly.
All right, I'm sorry, that was a terrible wrap up and now I've got kids crying. Simon, B-roll of the petrol station and water fill is on the Osmo. You're welcome. Love you. Best. You're the bestestest.
And we'll get you some good photos of the squid.
Take 1,000, Simon. Can you see me? No, this way's better.
So we'll see you next Sunday.
Caught behind